Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param Ishvaro Guratmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomabda Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sava Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satguru Pranatoshmaham Om Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste. So last class, we have seen the verse 32, the lovely verse 32, addressing the subtle difference between the Kutastha and Jiva. And we did not conclude. We stopped a paragraph or two before the end. It is this knowledge. The difference between Anyani and Yani is a vritti, pratibimba, shaitanya, has to take place in the case of the Yani, which makes the Anyani a Yani. The Anyani does not have that certain vritti, vritti, pratibimba, shaitanya. For a Vidya and a Varana, the enemy is Viveka, discrimination. The teachings. It is this knowledge born of discrimination that leads to the correct perception. The Avarana Shakti affects only the Jiva and not the Kutastha Chaitanya. Once this knowledge is gained, the suffering resulting from wrong identification comes to an end. Vrit Yana alone destroys ignorance. That's why scriptural study becomes indispensable. What we want is a certain vrit to destroy ignorance, anyana. In the mind and in the mind and in the mind alone, a vritti, yana, takes place. And the yani may see this fact. In a wise person, may you see this fact. You say, Samanya Chidabhasa cannot destroy ignorance, okay? So if we have a Samanya, an undifferentiated conscious reflection without any vritti, meaning to say, if you're in a state of samadhi in which there is no vritti, there is no aham brahmasmi or any other declarations coming from the Upanishads. So you're going to be in that state, samanya, indifferentiate, reflect, pure consciousness, beautiful, blissful, but it's not going to destroy ignorance. But Vishesha, Siddhabhasa, Vritti, Pratibimba, Siddhabhasa destroy ignorance. So samanya, indifferentiate consciousness is not going to destroy it. It needs to be Vishesha, Siddhabhasa, or reflection with the Vrittis. When general cannot do, how the Vishesha can do the job? So if the pure, general, undifferentiated consciousness cannot do, how can a modification in consciousness do this job? And then he gives us an example, an analogy here. Suppose there is a piece of cotton on the road. The sunlight illumines the cotton and blasts the cotton, but it does not destroy the cotton. So now we have the undifferentiated original sunlight. It blasts the cotton, it reveals the cotton, it heats up the cotton, but it does not burn the cotton. But suppose, like most fires in the world, suppose you have a lens or a piece of glass somewhere nearby, and then you're going to have a reflection. So that sunlight is not going to be samanya. It's going to be a reflect. It's going to be a secondary kind of sunlight through the magnifying glass. And this reflected light, sunlight, is going to gain a certain power that will burn the cotton. So now we have a cotton receiving direct light. Consciousness is just there, shining, and the reflecting medium of the individual is such that there is no breach, no modification. So that beautiful state is not going to destroy avidya or varana, or ignorance. The same way the sunlight hitting the cotton somewhere in nature, it will never going to burn the cotton. But if there is a reflecting medium, and then this reflecting medium, although it is something it's going to produce something secondary and dependent on the samanya, on the original samanya, and to become a vishesha, a secondary reflection of consciousness. The same way the reflect sunlight on that magnifying glass will have the power to burn the cotton. In the same way, samanya Shidabhasa cannot destroy ignorance but with a vishesha vritti. And the best symbol here is I am pure limitless consciousness. So that bridge, that Mahavakya, once it's clearly understood, and then that is going to destroy self-ignorance. That and only that, okay? Because self-ignorance is due to mistaken identity, and it is a notion, it is a vritti that needs to be neutralized with another vritti, such as Aham Brahmasmi. Vritti is like the magnifying glass. The cotton here is ignorance in the analogy. Now he's present the analogy slightly different. The vritti is like the magnifying glass. It's something that's going to bring about a modification in the sunlight. Before sunlight is just samanya, it's original, it's undifferentiated, and then there is a modification. There is a vritti, a modification in consciousness that is the sunglass that's going to produce a reflected. This samanya sunlight is going to become vishesha sunlight. And the cotton is ignorance. The cotton is there and under the spell of ignorance. So when the vritti comes through the reflection, the lens, the magnifying lens, the ignorance is destroyed. So the cotton there is a symbol of ignorance that's going to be destroyed, not by the original undifferentiated sunlight, but you require a magnifying piece of glass or lens to be able to destroy the cotton symbolized here as ignorance that was destroyed, not by the original sunlight. Okay, that way we conclude the verse 32. Any comments? Any contributions, ideas? So the verse 33. On Kutastha, covered over by the concealing power of ignorance, of Arana. So on Kutastha, covered by this concealing power, ignorance a project. Or, in other words, ignorance is superimposed. So there are two ways to look into it. We can imagine this ignorance as a reflection, or just a superimposition, or a projection upon consciousness. Is superimposed or it is project. This avarana power comes into place, and it superimposes the subtle body and the gross bodies, thus producing the Chidabhasa or the Jivas. It's like the superimposition of silver on a mother of pearl. Jesus called projection or Vikshepa. So now, Swami Vidyaranya presents the other aspect of a video, which is Vikshepa, the power of superimposing, transferring reality from something which is defined by its attributes. We transfer that to other factor, to consciousness, as in the case. Consciousness is free of attributes, but the jiva, the body-mind complex, the chidabhasa, becomes a superimposition on consciousness. It's like the superimposition, exactly like of silver on a mother of pearl found on the beach sand. So Jesus called another aspect of ignorance. It's called Vikshepa or projection. Okay, so he's presenting us the Mr. Vikshepa for us to get a better understanding of this power. Now, before we looked into Avarana, producing this avidya, and now Vikshepa as another aspect of this ignorance. With the previous verse, Vidyaranya concludes his answer to Purva Paksha, which was raised on the verse 28. So the Mr. Purva Paksha, as we remember, he was not accepting that Kutastha or consciousness could coexist together with Avarana or Avidya. How can light of consciousness coexist with ignorance or vidya? So we looked extensively through that objection until we understood that they do coexist nicely, friendly, because they do not belong to the same absolute order. One belongs to the absolute order, Satya, the other is Mithya. Therefore, they can coexist without any problem. And we could see that by experience, we know that they coexist. And by understanding, we can see that they coexist as well. So we have looked into that. He was saying that Kutas Chaitanya cannot destroy ignorance, and even Chidabhasa reflect consciousness, cannot destroy ignorance, but they will support. So now the concept is like original consciousness cannot destroy the ignorance. And now he says even Chidabhasa, which is reflect consciousness in its purest kind of condition, without any vrit, which is an object of the desire for most meditators to be in a peaceful, empty mind. So even Kutastha, Chaitanya consciousness, and even Chidabhasa cannot destroy ignorance, but they are absolutely necessary to support the destruction of ignorance. So we need original limitless consciousness, Kutastha Chaitanya, which is mixed up with the reflect consciousness. Both of them do not have the power to destroy ignorance. So this phenomenon, which is a mix-up of original consciousness and reflect consciousness, needs a certain medicine, a certain bridge in order to destroy ignorance. And then only Vishesha Pratibimba Chidabhasa Vritti can destroy ignorance, as we have determined. Now he brings another power called Vikshepa Shakti of original avidya, Mula Vidya. There is this original avidya, and it's due to, usually we present that the villain is Avarana Shakti, but also Vikshepa Shakti is responsible for this beginningless avidya or ignorance or Mula Vidya. Avarana Shakti has been defined so far. Now, Vikshepa Shakti projects a false identity, as we know. So there is an erection of a false entity is the job of Vikshepa Shakti. So this power that is going to conceal the clear perception of the Jiva Atma in respect to its true nature immediately is going to look for a self-definition of itself. I used to say it's like the mind, the aham, the human being, the human experience cannot live without immediately find something to define this aham. You understand? It's just like once this aham is conscious, immediately, as it is something so intrinsic, immediately it wants to define itself. Because you cannot say I am without looking for a definition. You understand? It's natural. This ignorance compels this aham to look for what? For a false identity, or for identity in the lack of qualities and subtleties and the scriptures. So at the early age, the child is going to find a way to define itself. It's going to superimpose an identity, which is the body-mind as we know. So therefore, it's going to be happening an erection of a false entity due to this Vikshepa Shakti, which is unavoidable. Vikshepa Shakti of rope ignorance will project a snake. No? So if I am not clearly, due to avarana, I'm not able to see that the rope is a rope, and then immediately another energy, another Shakti called Vikshepa, is going to project the snake. Now we have two factors, the snake and the rope. Okay, avarana has produced, okay, the snake indirectly by the use of power of Vikshepa, okay, because I did not see clearly, my mind was not clear, I did not see the rope appropriately, and then I see something that I project. Avarana Shakti will cover consciousness, the Kutastha, and Vikshepa Shakti will project to generate, to bring about something. So again, the human experience, the child is born, grows, and then it gets a sense that I am, the ego starts coming, and then very soon it no longer refers to itself as it or he or she, like I used to do when I was a child. I would say, Adindo wants this, Adindo did that. I never say I. So most child goes through that phase as well. So, but then Vikshepa Shakti, at a certain point, is going to compel this aham to define itself as the body-mind. Three things are superimposed by Vikshepa Shakti on this Mula Avidya. Vikshepa Shakti on consciousness. Vikshepa Shakti is as well beginningless avidya, Mula Avidya, original, beginningless. And this energy, this Vikshepa Shakti, is going to superimpose, to project three things, okay? So the first thing that it projects is Chidabhasa, or reflected consciousness. So we have this projecting power, and then the first thing that happens is it projects an entity which is the reflected consciousness. The first thing is Chidabhasa, is the reflect consciousness, which is a phenomenon occurring in Mithya. But as we know, if there is a reflecting consciousness, there must be a reflecting medium as well, okay? So, and then we have a reflecting medium. And here, Vidyaranya presents the other two factors, the two things, as the two bodies, the physical body and the subtle body. So it says the Vikshepa produces what? Projects, creates, superimpose the Jiva Atma. The Jiva Atma is reflect consciousness, but this reflect consciousness cannot exist without the reflecting medium. In here, Vidyaranya presents the reflecting medium in two distinct factors or principles. One is the subtle body and the other is the physical body. So we never think, I mean, often in the teachings in Chinese world, we don't see both bodies as being the reflecting medium. So in most cases, we present the subtle body as the reflecting medium, okay? But we need to understand that the subtle body, it's going to reflect aham only if it is in association with a physical body, medium as well. Only then there is a conscious aham taking place. Understand? Otherwise, it's just impressions of this conscious aham, I exist. So this reflected consciousness, it requires a medium, and the medium is presented here as two things: the subtle body and the physical body. Okay, sukshma and stula sharira. So those are the two other things. Okay, so those were created by Vikshepa Shakti. Okay. Stula Sharira is one reflecting medium. Sukshma Sharira is another reflecting medium. Both of them are projected by Vikshepa Shakti, okay? And then we have the reflection is born. So the reflection cannot happen without both bodies, because otherwise we say, all I need is my subtle body, okay? So now I'm going to leave my physical body behind. It's overweight, it's giving me trouble. Okay, I want to be a beautiful, good jiva and to travel light. And then I leave the physical body behind. And when I leave the physical body, I lose my jivahood, my reflection, my conscious aham. You understand? So it's going to be there in the causal body, some mental impressions in respect to this aham. So we have the two factors, two things, the two bodies plus consciousness, which is producing the Chidabhasa. But therefore, Vikshepa projects three things. Projects the physical body, the subtle body, and the reflection that occurs upon this body-mind complex. You see, we use so much this expression, body-mind complex. Now we can understand it better. Body-mind construct. Okay, so this reflection, called the jiva, is only possible upon the body-mind construct. Body goes for physical body, mind goes for subtle body. This complex is what's going to produce this human sentience. Okay. Therefore, after being project all these three factors, therefore he says along with it, twofold reflecting medium is projected by Vikshepa as well. So now the question would come to some of us is, why did not Swami Vidyaranya included another factor called the causal body, okay? Karana Sharira. Why he did not include? He included only the body-mind, the subtle and the physical. Why he did not include the causal body? We don't include causal body. We don't say that Karana Shahira, because we don't say that Karana Shahira is created or project. In Tattva Bodha, Karana Shahira is not presented as a created entity. If we remember the teachings of Tattva Bodha, Karana Shahira, the causal body, is not project. It is the potential, unmanifest, unprojected by the powers of Maya. It remains there as seed, as potential in the macrocosmic causal body. So it's not yet project. Out of the causal body on the macro and the micro aspect of every individual soul, that projection is possible only once once we have, it comes, the projection, of course, with the subtle body and then the physical body. And then they combine to become a jiva. Although Karana Shahira, the original, the macrocosmic causal body or the microcosmic causal body of the individual. So although they are anadi, they are beginningless, they exist forever. So if it is anadi, and here is an argument that he says is not present as a project entity as it is beginningless, and so how can you include that into the projection or manifestation if it is anadi? So I want to open a parenthesis here that also the subtle body and the physical body, although they are project, we often say that it is anadi as well. Okay, the eternal jiva is the concept of the beginningless jiva, the eternal jiva. Okay, it exists unmanifest in the causal body, and it exists manifest as the jiva atma. Here it says, but Karana Shahira, the causal body, it is beginningless, and it's not projected yet, so it's not included in that projection. Vikshipa did not, project or superimpose the body-mind, the soul with the body-mind construct. The soul was all one in the macrocosm overall souls. So on another language, it's not created, the Avarana. It's always there in the seed of the universe. It will be Karana Shahira. If it would be created, it would not be Karana Shahira. It will be Karana Shahira, not. So in other words, if it was a projection, it would be called Karya Shahira, not Karana Shahira. Okay. Projection here is done by the Vikshepa Shakti of Mula Avidya, and Mula Avidya itself is Karana Shahira. So now he says that this projection is done by Vikshepa Shakti of this beginningless avidya or ignorance. Out of this avidya, we have Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa, as we saw. Then this projection here is done by Vikshepa Shakti of this eternal Mula Avidya. And the Mula Avidya itself is Karana Shahira. And then he says that this ignorance basically is the macrocosmic ignorance that often we refer to as Maya, that which exists but cannot exist. It brings about the manifestation of the subtle universe and the physical material universe in which the jivas come into play. So this very Karana Shahira, the macrocosm causal body, is done by Vikshepa Shakti. And this avidya is the eternal ignorance, often referred by James Schwartz as the beautiful and how did I say? The beautiful, intelligent ignorance. The beautiful, wonderful, creative ignorance. And therefore, how can Karana Shahira project Karana Shahira? So it's not that the causal body projects itself, okay? So the causal body is itself Maya, okay? Is itself Vikshepa Shakti, as you say, that this Vikshepa Shakti itself, or this aspect of the Vidya is itself the macrocosmic causal body. Therefore, Karana, the causal body, cannot really project itself. It requires this power, okay, called Vikshepa. Karana Shahira can project only Stula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira. So as we know, the causal body can project and will project with the powers of Maya. Will project. Why? Because Maya is going to project the subtle body and the physical body, but it passes by the middleman called Karana Shahira. It passes by the causal body. Out of causal body, Vikshipa is going to produce, as we have seen here, the subtle and the physical body. Okay, so we could at the most say that Karana Sharira is responsible for projecting the subtle and the physical body, but it's not responsible for project itself, because itself is not project. It is projected by Vikshipa Shakti. Or he's not projected by Vikshipa Shakti because it did not come into existence. This is all the concept about the macro-causal body or Maya as something that is there, but it is not there in the sense that it was not yet superimposed or projected on consciousness. It exists there as a seed of superimposition, the seed of projection of the two bodies. So therefore, only two bodies, two shariras, adjust the projection. So this apparent reality of the two bodies, adjust, I think it's a superimposition position. This adjust its projection, So adjust the projection, which is basically a projection, superimposition, two shahiras, and only two shahiras. The adhyasthana of the two shahiras is kutastha. So the no-projection, adhyastha is a projection. And then there is one aspect that was not projected, but from the source of the projections, is consciousness Chaitanya, kutastha Chaitanya. So basically, the two bodies, if we want to put it in those terms, it is projected by consciousness, and consciousness does so without doing anything, but apparently doing by the power of Maya. Okay, let's read this sentence again. This adhyasthana, which is no projection, it's not projected. Adhyasthana, I looked for it, I did not find it. Adhyasthana. Now, adhyasthana is, I did not find adhyasthana. I found adhyasta, which is projection. Adhyasthana, I couldn't find it. This adhyasta, I have to explore the one you need.
Yeah, adhisthana is the supporting, the underlying, the foundation.
Adhyasta and adhisthana is underlying foundation. Yeah, makes sense. And this background is what? It's kutastha Chaitanya, it's consciousness. Very good. Which has been covered by Avarana Shakti of Avidya. Okay, this is all very technical, very subtle, and it's not absolutely essential for self-knowledge, but I enjoy it. I hope you do so as well. And if you have any insights, please help me.
I'm just very appreciative of going through this, because this is just really getting into the detail of exactly where the problem is. The problem of superimposition is everything, isn't it? If you get this clear, it, and I just think it's quite lovely. But perhaps it takes a certain kind of personality to enjoy it as much as I do. I don't know.
Because here it's being presented, the problem of avidya coming in its two wings, let's say, which is Varana, the concealing, and Vikshipa, is presented here in a very technical manner, okay, with the usage of a lot of Sanskrit words. And usually I look into it and I present it more practically, in the experience of everyone experiencing self-consciousness, and yet not understanding what this self, what this I is really, and that is clearly understandable, as this cosmic beginningless ignorance in respect to our true nature, our true identity. And that is due to avarana, and that is due to, a mind conditioned by too much rajoguna, let's say. But then there is another element of a video, which is the tendency to project. And that brings vikshepa, that he presents in details in a very technical manner, which often I present as unavoidable, tendency. And we see this tendency happening in the day-to-day. How many things we don't know, and there is a tendency, we have a bias of saying, no, I know, this is what it is. You understand? We jump. And then we don't like to not to have things known. And then, so this is the projection. If we do not know things, we tend to say, oh, no, must be. And if the person has a kind of a righteous personality, is going to do that a lot. Assumptions and projections, this is this and that. Okay, this is, again, vikshepa, but fundamentally it works as an attempt to define what I am. And unfortunately, everybody defines oneself as the physical and the subtle body, and everything that goes together with it. So in the following class, Vidyaranya Swami Paramarthananda brings back to us some aspects of this sloka 33, discusses individual analysis of Tvam Pada Vichara. This is needed because this investigation between Kutastha and Jiva is absolutely necessary due to the mixture of both. As we know, we are a mixture of both. And it's also interesting to see why we are a mixture of both, So we know that even our physical body is not here without original consciousness. So original limitless consciousness does not really produce or vivifies or activate the pranas in the physical body directly, but it does so by activating the subtle body. The subtle body is activated by original limitless consciousness. And then we have this original limitless consciousness that is infusing the physical body. Therefore, our physical body is also infused by original limitless consciousness, and being made out of flesh, it does not per se produce this human sentience. But, we know that the body, the cells of the body are infused with pure intelligence. That is enough demonstration that there is consciousness, the chit aspect of consciousness permeating, infusing the physical body. And then there is the mind, which is an incredible phenomenon that comes with this human sentience. So we have original consciousness and reflect consciousness playing together at all times. And there are some other analogies that points out to that one, you understand? So the fact that we have a reflecting medium that reflects it is not the whole story of it, because even in a state of deep sleep or samadhi, the reflecting medium is not working, yet original consciousness is there, infused in the subtle body, which is infused in the physical body, although the conscious reflection, aham, is not possible in certain states, such as deep sleep, in which there is no reflectivity. You understand? So we have a mixture of original limitless consciousness and this reflect consciousness playing with with us at all, at us, no, as us at all times. And then the more we understand that, the easier is for us to choose which way I want to identify myself. I'm going to identify myself with that is present now and not present later on, which is this reflection, this aham. Yeah? Or I'm going to identify and define myself as that which is always ever present, never modifying, to experience. You understand? So the more we understand, and then more easier it is for us to claim, to firmly claim my true nature, my original limitless consciousness, because it's present at all times. No. So we have these two things mixed up: Kutastha Chaitanya and Jiva Chaitanya. Kutastha Chaitanya being the original consciousness, and Jiva Chaitanya being the reflect consciousness. It is Chit and Chidabhasa. Okay, we have Chit, this conscious, sentience aspect, intelligence, knowingness aspect of Brahman, the consciousness, knowingness. Chit, is an aspect of Chitananda. And then we have Chitabhasa, which is Chit reflect on a reflecting medium. The reflecting medium now is being presented to us as the two bodies, the physical and the subtle body. So it is Adara Chaitanya and Abhasa Chaitanya, original consciousness and reflect consciousness, is mixed up by us, and therefore there is confusion. It's mixed up in two senses. It's difficult to sort them up, and we heard that we are a mixture of both, and fundamentally we should make a decision in how to define us. But somehow, because they are so intimately mixed up, there is confusion. Okay, so there are two senses it's mixed up. One, literally, it's mixed up, and secondly, mix up means to say confusion. I'm mixing up two things. No, I did not mix these things. Ishvara mixed it, Maya mixed it, and I am the byproduct. And now I have to understand that this mixture of original consciousness and reflect consciousness made this conscious being. There is no problem about that. It's just a question on how I'm going to decide to define myself. The confusion, one is limited, the one is limitless. One is anadi, the other has a birth date and a death date. One is decay, time bound. The other is, eternal. One is all the time change. The other one is changeless, nirvikaraha. So we need to do this inquiry, following the logic of this beautiful teaching of Vidyaranya, to undo this confusion. This confusion is made by this eternal avidya, mula vidya, which prevents me, from seeing things clearly in respect to what I am. So this mula vidya manifests through its twofold problems: avarana, the concealing power, and the creating or projecting vikshepa shakti. Kutastha Chaitanya is not known as existence because of this avarana shakti. So avarana shakti is going to hide to us our nature as consciousness alone, which is not the mind. Which is not the mind, it's consciousness. And because consciousness is the mind, even now we talk about consciousness and the mind, is so intimately intertwined, then the difficulty is to do this discrimination, because there is no distance between Kutastha Chaitanya, consciousness, and the vrittis appearing in the Jiva Atma as I am. So the Jiva Atma and the Kutastha Chaitanya, the original consciousness and reflect consciousness, are so intimately connected or intertwined, that it's difficult for us to make this viveka, this discrimination. Avarana is making it difficult for us. I guess if we would be born with a subtle body, with a mind, conditioned by much more sattva guna, okay, which is another aspect that does not come in these inquiries that we are studying here. Here we are presenting these two powers, avarana and vikshepa, which in the mind of the jiva is associated to rajoguna and tamoguna. The same way that it was presented before, the avarana shakti and vikshepa shakti happens within the background of kutastha chaitanya, consciousness. So we're talking about chit, the aspect of Brahman which is responsible for knowingness, from knowledge, intelligence, consciousness. So we have consciousness, we have pure sattva manifests, as this consciousness, reflect as clarity of mind, as pure intelligence of Ishvara, and so on. So we have pure sattva, and then we have in the mixture, we have rajoguna and sattva guna. Otherwise, the construct would not stand without these other two energies. Okay, so now we have the body-mind complex. So due to avarana shakti, we cannot understand that my nature is kutastha chaitanya. And this concealing power, is there because somehow consciousness is not very clear to me, because somehow my mind, my jivahood is lacking enough sattva guna. The more sattva guna we have, the more clear mind we have, the more we're going to see mithya and say, oh no, thank you, there is not much there to me, I need to do a certain inquiry here, because there is no happiness in mithya. Okay, there is no true satisfaction in mithya. And then you come in contact with this revealed knowledge, and then your sattva guna is going to grow and grow and grow. And then with a mind configured with much more sattva, naturally we come to the scriptures, and naturally and rapidly we discover we undo, we have success in this discrimination, in this viveka, in this inquiry, and then we understand clearly. So no, my nature, my true identity, my true nature is kutastha chaitanya. So I have no problem to sort out this mix-up, okay? It's there, but I have no difficulty to see what is my superior, free, and limitless, independent nature, and what is my inferior, secondary, apparent, limited nature. So this is all of this translated into the human experience under the condition, the influence of the three gunas operating this body-mind construct. So we have a Varana Shakti that is going to bring about too much tamoguna in the body-mind complex, and then the individual cannot understand and is not going to even have the potential for discriminate something as subtle as consciousness from the mind, going back to the mind, consciousness which is not the mind. It's easier for us to see I am consciousness, and consciousness is not the physical body, because I see the physical body as an object, very intimate object. But more often than not, I'm saying that I am consciousness, but I'm superimposing the mind on consciousness, and I see the body, I'm not the physical body. But now how I'm going to say I'm not the mind? So that is the subtlety of this discrimination. I have to discriminate kutastha chaitanya, original consciousness, from reflected consciousness. Did I lose all of you?
Arlindo, you were breaking up quite a bit, and I think we got our videos off to see if that would improve.
Okay, let's see if it's going to get better. Okay, let me know. And now it's pouring more rain again. Once a Varana Shakti does the job of concealment, Vikshepa Shakti completes this avidya, yeah, by projecting a false identity. You know? So this projection is Vikshepa or Adhyasa, yeah? Or Vikshepata. Vikshepata is another term. I did not have the time to research, but it means to say more ignorance. It is this Vikshepa Adhyasa that Vidyaranya explains in the 33rd verse. Upon the Kutastha, which is concealed by avidya or avidya Varana Shakti, upon the concealed Kutastha or Shidabhasa or Since Chidabhasa is reflect consciousness, it presupposes the reflecting medium also, because without reflecting medium, there is no reflecting consciousness. So since Chidabhasa being reflect consciousness, okay, and then he's going to presuppose that I am the reflecting medium, I am the subtle body, I am the physical body and the subtle body, because without the physical body, those two factors and the subtle body, no thought is going to appear in my mind. There is no reflecting medium, there is no reflected consciousness, with any sense of I. Therefore, Vidyaranya says that avidya not only superimpose Chidabhasa, but it superimpose on the original consciousness, the Adhisthana Chaitanya also. Upon that, this Chidabhasa is, or along with Chidabhasa, the superimpose. I need help here. Did you do some research on this Sanskrit?
Yes, a little bit, Arlindo. What word are you looking for?
Oh, this sentence. Therefore, Vidyaranya says, avidya not only superimpose Chidabhasa. So this ignorance, okay, which is composed by Vikshepa and Avarana, not only it's going to conceal, but it's going to superimpose Chidabhasa. Okay, so now the reflected consciousness, the I am, okay, the thought, I am, under the spell of ignorance, is superimposed. It's superimposed. Not only that, but it's superimposed on the original consciousness. It superimposed the Adhisthana Chaitanya also. So that is the thing that got me confused here. It's going to it must be the reflecting medium. Superimpose the reflect.
I think Adhisthana is referring to the original consciousness. My research said that is the basis, the support of everything. Adhisthana means the basis or support.
Okay, so it's saying.
So I think it's referring to original.
It's superimposed on original consciousness, which means to say Adhisthana Chaitanya also. So avidya not only superimposed Chidabhasa, but it's superimposed on original consciousness also. Of course, it is a superimposition on consciousness. So is that because sometimes it sounds very complicated because of the repetition of the concept using different words. Anything from you, Lynn? So did I lose Lynn? No.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Upon that, this Chidabhasa is, or along with Chidabhasa, the superimposition takes place. So we have the Chidabhasa, the reflect consciousness, the Jiva, superimposed on consciousness in simple language. Most probably that's what it said here. But therefore, Vidyarana says, Vidya not only superimposed Chidabhasa, but it's superimposed on consciousness. I find it a little bit strange. Not only it's superimposed Chidabhasa, but it's superimposed on original consciousness. Okay, we knew. I mean, every superimposition is a superimposition on original consciousness. Because the point here is avidya. This mula vidya is original ignorance in respect to one's true nature. One's true nature is original consciousness, and as we have also understood in the term, there are a lot of vikshepa superimposed on many things. And here, the superimposition is the reflect consciousness, and this superimposition is superimposed on the original consciousness. Upon this Chidabhasa is, or along with Chidabhasa, the superimposition takes place. Upon this Chidabhasa is, or let's say, along with Chidabhasa, the superimposition takes place. So there is, maybe he's referring to, there is a superimposition of the Chidabhasa as it emerges, it comes into place. It's a I think I understood it. This power, Vikshepa, is going to superimpose Chidabhasa, okay, on consciousness, as we know. But along with this superimposition of this Chidabhasa, there is a superimposition as well of Chidabhasa. I don't know. I don't want to speculate that. It's not very clear, this passage to me. I signed it here to see if I could get the help of you guys. It remains a little bit. Let's see if it becomes a little bit more clear as it unfolds here. In the last class, I raised a question about the other Shahira, the causal body. Have you forgotten about Karana Shahira? Karana Shahira is the original ignorance, vidya, mula vidya, and it is anirvakanya avidya. So did anybody look for this definition? Because I did not find it in my dictionary, Sanskrit dictionary before. I have to still get into the new one that Lynn has shared with us. So Karana Shahira is mula vidya, and it is anirvachanya avidya. It is mula vidya. Therefore, because of the mula vidya, is Karana Shahira. Therefore, because of the mula vidya, is Karana Shahira, which conceals Kutastha Chaitanya. It's very confusing, the construction of the sentence here. I mean, not only because of the excess of Sanskrit words, but they are not properly constructed. Those are transcriptions of Swamiji's talks, and when he talks, he pauses. It's easier to understand where he's breaking the logic or the sequency of the exposition. But here, therefore, because of the mula vidya, maybe if we remove, because the mula vidya is Karana Shahira, because we have established before that mula vidya is Karana Shahira, we have to remove the off. Therefore, because the mula vidya is Karana Shahira, which conceals Kutastha Chaitanya, because Karana Shahira, Chaitanya, the Stula Shahira are all project. Okay, we have seen it before. The projection is done by Vikshepa. It projects the other two bodies, but not the causal body. The causal body is just a video itself. It's, as we said before, is the original Mula Vidya is Karana Shahira. The beautiful, intelligent, concealing ignorant power that lies, lives within the causal body. Chaitanya, Sthula Shahira are all project. The Mula Vidya never arises, and Karana Shahira never arises. And if it arises, it will not be called Karana, but Kariya. So have you looked into this, the distinction, Karana and Kariya?
Karana is cause and Kariya is effect, I believe.
What did you say that Karana is? Causal. Cause. And Kariya is effect.
Karana is cause.
Yeah, cause and effect. Yes, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now it makes it clear. Yeah. So otherwise, it would not be called a causal body, but would be a body, an effect, which such as the subtle body and the physical body. But it's not an effect body, but it is the causal body. If it's the causal body, it was not caused yet. It was not projected yet. That's nice. That helps. What emerges is the effect, Kariya, which is the subtle and the physical body. It's not project, but Karana Shahira was there, and it is an Anirvakanya. Okay, did you look into that word? Good, I have.
No, I didn't find that.
Okay.
It means undefinable, just
okay,
like that.
Undefinable. It's a pity I don't have a program to add to these files.
Text.
The PDF. Otherwise, I would be putting my notes there, and I would have to translate it for words so that I keep putting my notes as I read and find words, the meaning of these Sanskrit words. Okay. So what was the last thing that you cleared to us?
Are you asking about the definition of anirvachanaya?
Yes, I'm not finding it in here.
It's unutterable or indescribable, undefinable. Some people use it as a stand-in for the Supreme Being.
Okay, now I found it. Okay, yeah, undefined. Adhistana Chaitanya also. Okay. Yeah. No way, I have such a trouble to memorize these Sanskrit things. But I should make an effort to take notes, since we decide to go into this heavy-duty text coming from Swami Paramarthananda. Upon that, this Chiddabhasa is, or along with this Chiddabhasa, the superimposition takes place. Yeah. Upon that consciousness, this Chiddabhasa, or along with Chiddabhasa, the superimposition takes place. Okay, I'm getting tired here. I'm going to see what I do, because if it keeps getting more and more Sanskrit in here, I will have to find a way to convert this text to Word, or buy the program that allows me, but that will give me some trouble as well. Do you have a converter, Mark, of PDF and Word? Can you convert this this
No, I don't. I just use a website, a Sanskrit dictionary website, and look up
Okay.
the words and take notes.
Okay. And then I'm gonna ask to Claudio. Otherwise, I ask some of my friends that they may be able, my Brazilian student, they are going to do that for me. I need to do that so that I can write the notes as a research, because otherwise I don't memorize. Okay. Anything else, my friends?
No, thank you, Arlindo.
Thank you all. Thank you, Claudio. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Silvia, as well. I have been saying again and again, we don't need Sanskrit for self-inquiry and self-knowledge. It's absolutely unnecessary. I have been convincing myself that I don't need to get into this, and now I'm finding myself in this situation. Okay? This is all Ishwara. Namaste. We talk next Monday again. Much love.
Dave, bye now.